Belonging. Hello and welcome to the Ignite Youth Podcast here at Waynfleet BIC Church, where we discuss life through the lens of our Anabaptist roots.
I was seeing how long it took you to say something. Hi.
Are you timing me?
I don't know. Hi.
We're a little squirrely here this week.
We are very squirrely here this week.
We have got the VBS countdown going on, and there's a lot happening in the building today.
We now have a dock inside of our church.
Yes, and
I'm going to let you guys' imaginations figure that one out.
Celestial...
Aurora Borealis.
Yes. Celestial phenomenon going on at the front of the church, and
we have a goose.
We do
have a goose.
A lot of taxidermy in here too.
Oh goodness. You know you're in Waynfleet.
So if you hear any wild animals in the background
or children screaming, because there's a bunch of kids that are running
same,
around
same.
as well.
Same.
But different.
Yeah. But we continue on with the podcast.
Yes, we do. And today we are continuing our series on the core values of the BIC. And so we're talking about, as you heard the title, would have been belonging. And so we're talking about belonging to a faith community. And to the BIC, this is something that's really important, is the sense of belonging. It's one of our three key words that we actually use, belong, be loved, become. And so this is a really big one for us. This is one that we're really passionate about, and we want people to be able to feel at home, but also understand, if people don't, to still help them in a communal way to figure out where they belong. And so with that, I wanted to say, actually, because I looked it up and I found it, what the BIC says when it says that we want people to belong. And it says, we value integrity in relationships and mutual accountability in an atmosphere of grace, love, and acceptance. And so that's what the BIC says when it comes to wanting people to belong to a faith community. And now, across the BIC, like all of our churches have such different culture.
Yeah, for sure.
From the culture I had when I was at Crossroads to the culture here at Waynfleet, it is much different.
Yeah.
Or I can go back to when I was at the meeting house.
Yep.
Now that is a completely
That's a different
different
expression, though, right?
Yeah. But when I was at the meeting house at that point, there was a lot of talk about the BIC and being a part of the BIC, like all of that. And so it was something that we felt very connected with the BIC. And so it didn't feel as much of an expression, but rather we're centered in it, we're partnered in it. But the cultural difference is such different. And that's why I love, like, when we have like our AGMs or when we have our, pastors and ministry staff, retreats, like
lead day.
You see that pastoral faith community, and you start to see like the cultural differences, but also the cultural similarities. Because that's something I do find. If you go to any BIC church, you will find some cultural similarities in the language we talk about. I find preaching wise, you will find theologically some similarities. But belonging to a faith community is so much more than just, your theological similarity or your cultural similarity. There's much more depth to it. And the Bible gives us really great answers to that. And actually, Galatians 6:2 says, to carry each other's burdens. In this way, you will fulfill the law of Christ. And he's talking to the Galatian church as, you need to do this as a community. You can't be so individualistic. You can't just say, oh, that's that person's issue, they can go solve it. But rather, you need to walk together, work together, help each other, carry each other. And that comes into community. And so, and with the BIC, we have a heavy weight on Scripture. Like, we really rest within Scripture. And so hearing this about a key need for community is something we take very highly, especially this verse. And what that means for us today is how to try and live this out as best we can. And that means, helping each other, carrying each other's burdens. And I think for our church, and Julie, you've been doing it longer than I have. I think like our BIC, like our prayer page, or our ways of our deacons going and helping people, like driving people to appointments or helping people. And so there's different ways of living
Visitation
and so there's different ways of living in community where we're carrying each other's burdens, where we're helping out what the BIC says, in an atmosphere of grace and love and acceptance. That doesn't matter what is going on. We have people who are going to want to be there for you. And not only that, But Hebrews 10:24-25 says, "And let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching." And so that verse is telling us, don't stop meeting, keep going. And I'm sure everyone after COVID felt that heavily of like, we want to get back to church. We really want to, we feel a need to. And I think for us, especially,
after lunch,
I could feel it coming for like a last like minute.
Oh yeah. Excuse us.
And so here in this verse, belonging to a faith community as one of our values, what we're getting at is how we see the need and importance of routine and making sure that you are coming out to church, or if you're not coming to church, if you're not able to come out to church, you're tuning in online, you're connecting with people within the church still. Maybe there's deacons reaching out and supporting you. Maybe there's other people within the church that you're meeting with. There's pastors you're talking to, because belonging to a faith community doesn't just mean you show up on a Sunday morning and you leave and you don't talk to anyone. That's not belonging to a faith community. Belonging to a faith community is actively living out church culture. It's actively living out going to things. It's going to the worship nights. It's volunteering with VBS. It is
Serve Weekend, Mom Care.
Yes.
What's the one we just had? Help me out. Spring Cleanup Day.
Yep. That did not come into my mind at all.
It was in here. Don't worry.
It did not come into my mind.
But we've got lots of opportunities for that kind of thing is what we're saying.
And even like on Sunday morning, helping out in Kidsmen, helping out in cafe or live stream.
Definitely live stream.
Helping as part of the worship team or other areas. Being in a faith community means that, well, yes, we take on each other's burdens. Yes, we help each other through the week. But here at church Sunday morning, it's helping fulfill roles as well. It's sitting in the service. It's listening to the sermon and then talking about it with your life group afterwards and diving deeper. Because a faith community isn't something that just is surface level, but something that goes deep. And within those, those faith communities that we all belong to, it is talking about what's going on in our lives. It's talking about pouring in. Like for me, that's one of the things I noticed most different between a worldly community and a faith community for me was the worldly community didn't want to go deep. It didn't seem to care. Whereas the faith community seemed to want to go deep, to want to care, to want to pursue me and making me feel like I belong here. That is something that I can have this relationship with God. And so, yeah, and the other verse I want to share. All right, Jan, number 3.
Oh, I'm good.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
No, thank you,
okay.
I'm fine. Stay tuned, it's coming.
The last verse I wanted to share was John 13:34-35. There it is. And it says, "A new command I give you, love one another as I have loved you. So you must love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another." A faith community and belonging to a faith community is a family. And no matter what, there will be issues. No matter what, there will be things that will come in the way. But it is still choosing to love each other, to work it through, to figure it out. And it's really important because if we don't do this, bitterness takes hold and it can root very easily. And that can really disrupt your faith community. It can make you feel disengaged or not here. And I think everyone feels that at some point or another because we're human beings. But in the BSC, belonging to a faith community is one of our highest values, I think. And with that, it comes to wanting to partner and join together with people. You look at the BIC in the past, here in Waynfleet, even like look at the Love Feast or other things where really this church has opened up its doors multiple times over, I guess, the centuries, I could say.
I would say.
Where inviting people in and having people experience the sense of love and belonging. And you still have family names from people who first started this church still here because it's a faith community that is something that generationally is seen as important. And so I think that branches out then into the rest of our ministries that we do, whether it is youth or kids or young adults or seniors, other life groups. I didn't know what else to say there, but I think all of it branches off in this idea of belonging to a faith community. And what I want to do is I want to ask this question for kind of our listeners, and that is, where is your faith community right now? Is it here at church, or is it, maybe it's at a different youth group, maybe it's at a different church. But do you have a faith community? Do you have one that you feel that you belong to, that is there to care and to love you, to help carry your burdens, but also for you to be able to help other people? This isn't just a consumer take it all in, but rather how do we serve as well? And so that's the question, where is your faith community, and do you belong to a faith community? But yeah,
it's a good question. And then what?
Well, okay, yeah. If you answer both those questions, no, I don't really have a faith community. I don't really feel like I have one. The important thing is
to find one.
Yeah. And how I would say you can do that is you can talk to one of the staff here at church. We'd love to be able to help you find a community. But there's also people within our church that you can just ask. I find, like, I think we have people in our church that come to mind for me who are really great people who you can walk up to on a Sunday morning and say, hey, what's life group like for you? Or, hey, where are you connected in? Yeah. You may have someone say, well, I'm connected on the welcoming team, or I'm connected in this, or I'm connected in this. But you slowly can find ways to start getting connected. And I say slowly, but it can happen really quickly, of ways to get connected, to dive deeper, to feel like this is a second home, and this is a sense of family belonging here. But it takes effort to reach out and to do that. And while that is scary, and I know sometimes anxiety provoking, the benefit and the rewards are so much greater.
And I think if you do feel connected, I think it's equally important to keep your eyes peeled for someone that isn't connected.
Yes, yeah.
Because like you said, it can be very anxiety producing. So we also want to be a people that looks out for follows Jesus' example and looks out for the people that maybe are feeling on the outside, or maybe are feeling a little bit. I think that might even be more important.
Oh, absolutely.
As someone with a strong faith, to
help motivate others and help
welcome people in and to step out from your group of friends sometime to maybe welcome someone in. I think that's just as important, if not more, I would argue. But
yeah.
All
right.
There you go.
That's all.
Anything else?
That's all I have for this one. Yeah. I found this one was a little more one that we could really speak into. And
yeah. Sounds good. All right, Pastor Wes, thank you.
All right, Julie.
If you'd like to get in touch with Pastor Wes, or if you're looking for a spot to belong, and you're a youth, please do reach out to Pastor Wes. If you're listening and you are not a youth, you can reach out to Pastor Wes also, or one of our other pastoral staff for some connection. You can reach Wes at waynesfleetbic.com.
Yeah.
Our email address is very complicated here.
Oh, very, very.
And mine's Julie at waynesfleetbic.com. So, thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to connecting with you next week. Have a great week.
Bye.